Good morning, everybody. I think that cover there was I think it had the wrong comments. So apparently the text that I changed that I made on there did not take place. But good morning, everybody. We are not talking about round one there, like that stated. That's weird because I had changed that. In any case, we've got a few things to talk about today. First off, happy to be back. Had a little break. We'll talk a little bit about that. So we're just going to be talking some darts. We're going to be talking about some of the events that have taken place here recently with some wins there. And of course, we're going to be talking about Kyle Anderson. If you did not know, you did not hear, Kyle Anderson passed away yesterday. The Australian professional, a great fun man. I had the opportunity to interview him about a year ago, and we've stayed in touch over the past year just through social media. We've chatted a few times. I knew that he was dealing with some stuff. And so, but yesterday, that was a huge shocker for me. When I heard about that, touch base was shot on it. Right now, they are kind of just letting the family deal with it. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Some coffee. Oh, that's good stuff. But I've had some questions as to like where I've been, what I've been dealing with. The website apparently was down for a little while. Just it kind of looked like I just disappeared, and that is the case, and it's not the case. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into some cool things that have happened in the darts community, as far as some wins that have happened, some things that are going on with Champ Darts. Just so you know, Darts Player LA had their first in-person tournament this past weekend, and I'll just tell you, Chris Lim. That's pretty much all you got to know. He won both events. So he won both events. There you go. Chris Lim taking that, both events in that tournament on Saturday and Sunday, playing phenomenally well. But darts is pretty much back, guys. Pretty excited about that. PDC's been a little awkward. You know, we've had longer breaks than usual, but we have darts coming back next week with the PDC. Excited about that. We'll take a look at what's going on there. We have ladies darts like last year. We've got that coming back with their little fall series. Which is going to be exciting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of the ladies have been playing the online tournaments. They haven't been doing the in-person stuff, but there is one female player who has had the opportunity to mix it up with the boys, and I think she's going to do well when it comes time to be playing the ladies in person. And of course, that's Lisa Ashton, who has a tour card currently. I'm not sure what her ranking is right now, but as far as I know, her tour card would be in jeopardy this year. She may have to go back and win it again, which she, of course, has the skill to do. Let's see. We've had, when it comes to Champ Darts, we'll touch base on that, and then I'll get into a little bit about what's been going on with me, because there's been a lot of questions about that. So, and good morning, everybody. Thank you for checking in with me. I've had a number of people reach out, but with Champ Darts, we had and I talked about this briefly last time I was on, but we had Danny Lauby winning two of the events for the U.S., and then Leonard Gates taking a win in there as well. Leonard was in the finals against Danny at least one other time. So I think Danny Lauby was in the finals all three times, and he did lose to Leonard Gates on the third event. So that's the U.S. From the Canadian side, which just happened. I got to say that correctly. I'm sorry, Michael Holman. The North Canadians. I know you guys love that. We had three events, three winners. This was about 2 weeks ago. First day was, and I'm totally blanking on it, so that's why I got to look over here and look. It was Cameron who won the first day, came out, shot very well. Then Matt Campbell had gotten the rust, kind of like the hair, shook off, and winning event number 2. And then Jeff Smith just showing everybody why he's got a PDC tour card, winning the third event. So Congratulations to all of those winners out of Champ Darts. I will say that Danny and Danny will be representing the U.S. here in match play, and that is Danny Baggish and Danny Lauby. And then for Canada, it's going to be Matt Campbell and, of course, Jeff Smith representing. So those are our North American players that will be heading over and representing. And to be very honest, they have a really solid, good chance to go deep into that tournament. Typically, USA goes out early. Canada, they've done well. They're getting into the second, third round typically, and then out of there. But all four of these players have good experience. They're not intimidated by others. No, to be very honest, the Welsh will probably do well. I don't know. They got those two guys that kind of know how to play the game right now. They're both very hot. So we're going to see, and sorry for the mess back here, by the way. We'll talk a little bit about that. And I can see way more mess over here that you guys can't see. It's in the corner of my eye. That's why I bring it up, because it's bothering me. But so I'm excited to see what happens with that. I think the Dannies will do well. And if Lauby's throwing the way he threw at that event with Champ Darts, and Baggish, pulls together what we know he can do, they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough. And of course, our Northern brothers, both of those guys have good PDC experience. Matt Campbell winning a Challenge Tour event earlier this year. Neither of them afraid of the Aki and who they're competing against. Literally, I don't think there's anybody that's going to rattle their cage. So I think they're going to do well. They'll go far. I'm excited to see what happens with that particular event. So good morning, everybody. I don't think I started off my show in the proper way. It's been a while, so I kind of forgot. So I'm going to do that right now after I get a sip of coffee. And so here's the true opening, guys. Hey, welcome to Coffee and Darts. I'm your host, Matthew. Let's see, we're in episode 99, so next one's 100. That's kind of exciting. Let me know if you guys are ready to talk some darts by giving me a ton 80 in the comments. And I do want to thank my sponsors. Currently, I've got just 2 on board. I lost one there's just a lack of communication. But I want to thank Shot Darts. Shot is just phenomenal. And if you guys haven't checked out some of their new product, their new barrels, they're just doing great things. They're doing great things for the community of darts. Shot is just a great company. And of course, Jen Mounts and everybody over at Magic Wear and A to Z Darts. Again, a great group of people that love the community of darts. Jen is just phenomenal for the community. And what A to Z and Magic Wear do, they really do strive to, be there for the darts community. So very happy to be working with both of them. So there you go. There's kind of a traditional opening. Let's get into answering some of the questions that I've had come about me, and then we're going to talk about Kyle Anderson a little bit more. I'll tell you guys some of the comments or conversations that he and I have had, which have been few in the past year. And then, of course, getting to interview him. And honestly, I think I'm one of the last people from a darts community standpoint, outside of like some news stuff, that really had an opportunity to talk to him from an interview standpoint. And so that is up if anybody wants to watch that. He's just such a good guy, but we'll get into that. So, oh, look, Bullseyes and Brewskis is here. What's going on, guys? Hey, what's up, Tanner? Speaking of North Cadians, Tanner played well, by the way. Tanner Picard played well in the Champ Darts event. I saw some of your scores, man. Definitely getting it there. Excited to see where things go for you over the next couple of years. So questions about me, like where have I been? Because it's been a few weeks in regards to doing this show. First off, we did have a family event planned where it's called Family Camp, like old school family, like dancing, Dirty, whatever that movie was with Patrick Swayze and Dirty Dancing and, kind of that whole old schooly type thing. our church does that up in a place called it's by Lake Arrowhead, California. So you guys can Google that. And there's this cool camp up there, and it's like a family camp, literally, where the kids do some stuff, adults do stuff, and it was fun. We've heard a lot about it, and we've talked to a number of people that have done it for years, and it's just that it was so much fun. So we did it this year. So that was the first week I was gone. That was kind of that. In doing family camp, I had gotten a little bit sick just before going. Like literally, we left on a Monday. On Friday, I'd spent almost the entire day with my dad, who smokes. I have asthma. I have some breathing stuff that I grew up with because my parents smoked, and being around that all the time, and then other things like I grew up a lot in Arizona, and that dusty weather it destroyed my lungs. So I thought I was just dealing with being around my dad, which is pretty typical. Whenever I'm around him, like it takes a day or two for me to clear up. So I thought I was dealing with that. We headed up the mountain, where typically everybody, it's a little bit, this is a decent grade up. So there's a little bit of breath that you lose. I was playing basketball with my kid, and I'm like, man, I'm winded. This is weird. Plus I'm fat and old. So that doesn't help. But just kind of hanging out, like just doing the stairs. There was like this one building, and the third story was where all the cool stuff was. So you used to walk up the stairs, but I wasn't the only one that was like, this sucks. I was like, okay, cool. So it's just not me. It's just getting old. So during that week, I was feeling a little off. There was one night where it was like really, like I could barely kind of breathe, but it wasn't an asthma attack. So it felt weird. And then come Friday night, we left Saturday morning. Come Friday night, like I was sick. I was like, man, this is kicking my booty. And Saturday we came down the hill, and I got home, and I was like, that coming down the hill thing, everything depressurizes type of stuff. Like I was hammered bad. Well, it's because I decided to do a super spreader at camp and bring COVID with me. And apparently there were 2 or 3 other people that did the same thing. And we just decided we would infect everybody. Kind of. Pretty much everybody that sat with us and ate with our family, because there's big round tables and you sit and you kind of move around and hang out and talk and all that. Pretty much everybody that was near me got sick, which everybody's okay. I just want to preface that. Nobody hospitalized or anything of that nature. But I had COVID, and I lost my taste there for a little bit, and my wife was feeding me these zinc pills, so everything started to taste metallic-y, which was weird because you're drinking water and it tasted like metal. It was weird. What's up? We got 3Dib in here. We got Daniel Booth in here, man. Dude, I'm feeling like a superstar right now. This is cool. It's so nice to see everybody. So basically, I had COVID. And I will say, because everybody asked me, what's it like? It is like a seriously bad flu. You get a little bit of the fever, the flu stuff, all that, with an asthma attack on top of it. And if you're not familiar, have an understanding about how to deal with the asthma attack, it can be very scary because you do lose the ability to kind of breathe, not completely. If you know how to take short breaths, and it's almost like giving birth, the type of thing. It's almost like that, but you just have to calm yourself. You find a space where you can be calm and not stressed. You don't lay down. You really want to sit up so your lungs have some ability. Some people say raise your hands over your head. Well, when you're sick, that sucks. But you just find a place mentally where you just calm down. I think it's in my car. I thought I had it right up here with all my stuff. I do have this though. I keep this around. Just want to point that out. That's my tour card. But I have some breathing pieces that I have, and I wanted to show you guys one. But I have like this, and they're used for like athletes, breathing devices that basically strengthen your lungs. And I do those all the time. Just while I'm driving, I have this one that I can do while I'm driving. Everybody thinks I'm weird because I got this thing sticking out of my mouth. Mrs. Atomic chiming in there. So that was kind of the crappy thing for a couple of days. And then we have, I don't remember what the drug was. And I wanted to say that to everybody so they could go get it if they could get it, because it worked magically for me and other people, because we gave some out to some other people that were dealing with this, that were friends and other family members that have had to deal with it. And I can't remember the name of it. I will post it maybe, because I don't know. Social media is weird about all that stuff. It was it wasn't the Qualicora Queenie stuff, whatever that stuff is, but it was the other one that was mentioned. It's still available in other countries. It's not available here in America. It's weird. And that's where we got it with some friends that were overseas that were able to pick some up. And then we just ordered some and had it shipped. And it's blanked my name. It'll come to me. So I took that on day 3. And I'll tell you, the next morning, like when I was going to bed, the next morning I woke up clear. Like I was like, wow. So I spent the next couple of days just resting, relaxing, watching a ton of movies, like Pirates of the Caribbean, all of those, Jurassic Park, all of those. Like I just went through and started binge watching all these movies. In doing that and watching darts with Dylan, and we had a good time. We watched some old tournaments. We watched this guy, Gerwin Price, win the world championship. That was weird. And this Peter Wright guy, whatever. So we did some of that. Had some fun. Oh, we watched the Rob Cross win the world championship, which is one of the best matches out there. It's just so much fun to watch. But so did that and just kind of just rested for a couple of days, but taking that pill, and now I really wish I could tell you guys what it was. I thought I had some. I'm just not prepared. Sorry, guys. But it really, really worked, and I feel great. Like I've been able to play basketball with my kids, jump on the trampoline, go do stuff. It's just been really, really awesome to get back to it. In regards to all of that, because that's a couple of weeks, and of course we had other stuff. I just had to get back, had work stuff to do, had some stuff to do for family. Kids go back to school tomorrow. We had all that stuff coming in, and I was dealing with that family wise. And so that's kind of why I've missed the last few weeks. And I've been thinking, honestly, we'll talk a little bit about this with you guys, because you're family. And then I want to read what the PDC put up in regards to Kyle Anderson, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And you guys are welcome to chat in regards to that. But I've been doing this stuff, YouTube, with darts for like 4 years, almost 4 years. Like next month will be 4 years, I think. And it started where I had put up a little online store to sell stuff. I was buying it wholesale from A to Z and a couple other places, and wanted to sell just because I thought it would be fun to do. I didn't know the market really well from darts. I was playing darts and just said, hey, I'd like to sell stuff. That's just kind of my nature. So I did that. And so I started doing review videos just to review product that I was trying to sell. And I actually started with some of the SHOT stuff because I really liked the product that SHOT put out and the research I put into the company. And they were very open to talking with me just about their product. So it kind of had started with them. I will tell you guys that A to Z, Mr. Baxter, John Baxter over there, has a really good relationship with the team at SHOT. And so like when I was talking to SHOT, they were like, talk to these guys. And I was able to have a good conversation. At the time, Jen Mounts wasn't working for them. And I had found her online and we were chatting and she was very helpful. So that's how I started, was doing product reviews with that. And over the years, I've toyed with this idea. I want to do a full news blown, like we sit down, there's news stuff, and it's, all right, I'm going to throw it over to you, Gene, and blah, blah, and do that for darts here in America. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of work to do that. So over the years, I've just kind of gotten to this point, and I really haven't gone any further because it's a matter of the team and the other stuff. And other people have come along and they're doing phenomenal. Jason Watt, bearded dart guy. he's been able to work with Sharon and the guys and gals at Galaxy and so forth to create this thing. And, it's kind of some of what I had thought about. He's just been able to get that going, doing phenomenal with it. You've got the guys over at Bullseyes and Brewskis who have kind of putting this program together. You've got the Soft Tip Central, Daniel with UK, and then the guys here USA, and what we're seeing happen. A lot of these are the mental things that I thought about. Hey, I'd like to do this, but as a one-man show, it just didn't happen. And I'm so excited that everybody's taking it further, in what's happening. And I'll tell you, I honestly have thought of late of just stepping aside and letting the next generation of people doing this stuff from a video standpoint to go forward with it, and be there to help if anybody has questions, because I still do things like I'm going to an event 3 weeks up in LA where I'll be there for a couple of days learning about video, all kinds of new stuff in video. It's called Vid Summit. Those that are here watching, you can do a virtual thing on it. It's Vid Summit. They're going to talk about video stuff. Mr. Beast is going to be there. Friends of mine that I've known for years now, 4 or 5 years since I started dealing with this, are going to be there. I'm going to be talking with industry leaders of YouTube and video and all that stuff and taking classes. I love doing that. Will Stewart, how's it going? Speaking of Will Stewart, Will's another guy that got into this groove of doing video stuff just out of kind of boredom, and has taken it to incredible levels. USA Darts Production, Will runs that. But I still stay very focused in this space, learning it. It's fun. So again, I'm available if anybody ever has questions about what's going on or wants to know new technology. There's a new Sony camera that's coming out that's awesome. Things like that. I'd be happy to chat about it. But I literally, I'm sharing my heart with you guys. I've thought about stepping aside from all this. Like my kids, with what's going on with them and just what's going on work-wise with me, been busy. It's been a thought. And then I get that one text. I get that one email from someone that says, hey, Matt, man, we miss you. Or, hey, I just watched this video from yours from 2 years ago, and it really helped me with this. Or, my flights video that I did, I don't know, 3 years ago, that's me sitting in my office in my old house. There's nothing behind me. I was kind of one of the first videos I did. And I just had a guy 2 days ago start asking me questions about flights and stuff. And, he didn't understand some of the newer technology that had come out and things like the Condors and all that stuff. And so we had a chat about it. It came from that video. I know that Michael Holdman watches because of that video. And so these things happen, and it keeps me here. And so I'm thankful for all of you. And then I see what happens with the Will Stewarts and the USA Darts Productions, and getting to hang out with him in Vegas was totally awesome. And of course, the crew from Bullseyes and Brewskis in Vegas was so much fun. But then, you see what Jason Watt's doing. Jason's got incredible stuff going on. There's other shows that are popping up where people are now having 2 people on screen and they're talking darts. And I'm so excited about the progress. And so it keeps me hanging around. Plus, speaking of SHOT, they sent me stuff that have been reviewed by like everybody else but me because I was sick. And so they want me to review this stuff. I don't know why. This one is awesome, by the way. The design work. Oh, so I still have some stuff to do in regards to this. And Jen from A to Z sent me stuff that's sitting over here. So I'm not going anywhere, even though I kind of sound like I am. I'm just saying that there are moments and times where I do feel like maybe it's time to hang up, and I may take a break. I may take a couple month break and see if I can put a team together and see if I can make this even bigger and better. I do have opportunity to have some space where it's not my garage, and we can actually set up a studio that's more functional and maybe put together an actual show, which is my dream. If I win the lottery, and I've said this to a lot of people, if I win the lottery, first off, there's going to be some killer dart stuff out there. Let me tell you, there's going to be it's going to be awesome. And there's going to be money. There's going to be some cool sponsorship stuff going out. But is to build like a news production type thing that's darts, like 24 hours of darts, replaying matches and talking about stuff and having people on the show and having that. Like, that's where I would love to go. A coffee and darts shop where we do coffee and darts on the thing, and then of course alcohol in the evening, because or maybe it's just some alcohol in your coffee. But like literally, that's the stuff that's in my head that I would love to do, and just build the sport here in America. And that's just the driving force, just sharing my heart with you guys, because I've been gone for a couple of weeks and I've had a lot of people ask me about it, like, am I coming back? Did I just vanish? And the truth is no. And I don't intend to go anywhere. I may take a break, just being honest with you guys, to try and figure some of this stuff out. But so there you go. Yeah, that's me sharing my heart. What's going on, Scottish Lad? Speaking of Scottish Lad, if you guys haven't seen this guy, a little over a year ago, we chatted. He's like, hey, I want to do some videos. He was starting to do some stuff. He didn't want to be on the videos. He started with his phone, and things have, if you go, he's got over 100 videos easily, finally reached over 1,000 people. Props to you, guy. Some high five in there. Just killing it out there, putting video after video after video out there, and the quality of videos have just gotten better and better and better. And I almost feel like, okay, I don't need to do anything anymore. All these people are doing the reviews and they're doing well. It's like, hey, Shot, call him. Like, I love that you guys, Emma over at Shot, that you guys send me some stuff to review, but call these guys. Like, they're killing it and they're just doing it consistently. I've gotten old and worn out and nobody cares type of thing, not that nobody cares, but you know what I mean? And it's so much fun to see those things. But right now I'm not going anywhere. So just letting you guys know. All right, so let's get off my little whininess and all about me. I do want to talk to you guys about Kyle. Like, Kyle Anderson, if you have not seen him play, which if you're new to darts in the last year and a half, you haven't seen him on tour. He gave up his tour card September 4th of last year. I'm trying to remember. I interviewed him, I think, in August last year. I'm going to try and look that up here in just a second. We do that right here. Kyle's a phenomenal man. Great darts player. Just really, really does. He's got a 9-darter that you can go watch. That was so much fun to watch. He's one of those darts players that you look at and he was a journeyman type guy. And he took a break, and that's where he got his little hitch. So we talked about that on the show with him, and I talked to him a number of times about that. His little hitch. He took a little bit of break, and when he came back, he had that. He takes a dart and he pulls it back before he throws, which is really cool. It's kind of a cool thing to see, because you're like, whoa, that was weird. And he just came back and really darts became something, and he moved up as far as the money board goes, and was doing really well. Had won some tournaments, had it going on, and had some family stuff come up. And so he took a little bit of a break, and then his wife was pregnant. And so he took a break from darts. And when COVID hit, he made the decision to kind of step aside from darts because of what was going on. Australia and New Zealand locked down a little bit tighter than everybody else. He wasn't able to travel. That was a big hiccup for him for a while. He did get COVID, which affected him some. But then he had the little one. He had his son. He's busy with family. And so he kind of just stepped away for a while. He was playing some tournaments at home, some little small tournament type things. He was kind of getting out and just goofing off. I don't want to say tournaments, but he was out playing a little. And he was just trying to do family stuff. And there were some health issues that were dragging along this whole time. And that was part of the driving force. And so he took some time off. He literally he hadn't completely walked away. That was the one thing that I don't know if anybody knew, or I'm sure there were people that knew. he and I chatted at one point because I asked him, I was like, "Hey man, like, are you gonna come back? What's the deal?" He said that he was. He was gonna start, kind of in the Australia, New Zealand type thing, and then he was gonna try and just see what happened. Like he and his wife had talked about, it, and they were gonna just see what was gonna happen, type of thing. Um, and I'm looking for that episode here real quick, just so I can point it out to you guys, or at least tell you which one it was, what the number was. Of course, I can't find it because that's how it goes, right? Hey, look, there's Jim Long. So there was a desire for him to hang around and do darts. And Tori Quish, who's been on the show a couple of times, was a good friend of his, and like a lot of her love for darts, I will say, came from him. She has made a number of comments about just how great a person he was, and what he meant for her, and in his life. He was just one of those guys that talked darts. Like he and I talked about darts, like how, some of the things, and I remember a comment that he made where he was just like, "Hey man, if you put the dart in the 20, just 3 darts in the 20, and you're consistent there," he's like, "you got a 60 average, he's like, "you got a 60 average, and you just got to get the outshot." And I was thinking about that. I'm like, wow, that's right. So everybody that's in that 40 average, low 50s, if you just put 3 in the 20 every single time, your average is going to come up. And he goes, and if you're doing that, you're going to end up hitting the trip 20, and your average is going to increase. He goes, just make sure you can get the outshot. And I was like, it's a very simplistic way of looking at darts. But wow, you could have a 70 plus average as long as you're getting your outshots, without a huge amount of effort. I mean, you got to be able to do the board, but we're talking from a simplistic terms. It was like, it's really just that. And then you build off of that. And I was like, such a good way to look at it. So it was episode 42. Episode 42. I don't have a date right here because it's not letting me see a date. Let me see if it'll let me click on this right here. Now it's going to play it. September 14th of 2020. So it's been almost a year. So September 14th of last year, episode 42. You guys can if you want to go catch that. That was my interview with Kyle. And that was just after he gave up his tour card. So there you go. Hey, Scottish Lad, thank you, man. You do that quite often. I think Bob Hamilton may have posted. Thanks. Sure. But Scottish Lad, so apparently, like, and this is one of the things I don't do that everybody else does, is you can donate through all these social media platforms and stuff that my show's on. And Scottish Lad always throws me a couple of bucks when he's watching. A couple pounds. Sorry. Get that straight. Sorry, man. And I appreciate that, man. It really does mean something. What's going on, Justin Sanderson? Sorry. Kind of lost my breath there for a second. I appreciate that, Scottish Lad. That's awesome that you kind of just give back in that way. I really appreciate that. And I do have a Patreon page where there are some people that are like Will Stewart and Jason Watt, Bearded Art Guy, and a number of other great people that support me in what I'm doing here. And that's also another driving force for me to continue to do stuff. Those people get freebie stuff. It's time to send out some more freebie stuff. So I'll be working on that over the next week or two. So I want to keep talking about Kyle for a little bit longer. I do want to read this to you guys. So let me drag this over here so I can see it. This comes from the PDC. I'm just going to read to you in regards to that, or in regards to what they wrote. Again, this kind of shocked the darts world. I had heard about it yesterday, and I saw that Justin Sanderson and the Stucco team, the UK and USA, like these guys posted about it. And with a caveat, I do want to say, I know there's posts now that are going out quite a bit about it. The family had said that they really wanted to kind of keep it low key. They haven't talked about why or what happened as of yet, at least last I heard. And they really didn't want anybody to know. And yet, of course, with today's technology, it got out there. And so I was talking with Shot last night about it, and they're going to release a statement at some point. And Shot was still his sponsor. If anybody wanted to know, they were still his sponsor. They were still working on some products with him. So anyway, there'll be an official statement and stuff coming out and different things. But let me go ahead and read this to you. So this is from the PDC. It says the Professional Darts Corporation is devastated to hear that Australian star Kyle Anderson has passed away. The 33-year-old from Perth was a popular figure on the circuit, which he was. He emulated just fun. Initially coming through the Dart Players Australia system to win the 2012 Oceanic Masters. He made his World Championship debut in 2012-2013 event and landed a 9-darter on the Alexandria Palace stage the following year as he blossomed on the international stage. Anderson won his PDC Tour card in 2014 and enjoyed his best spell 3 years later, winning a Players' Championship and then the Auckland Darts Masters on the World Series of Darts circuit in August of 2017. He also achieved a second television 9-darter in the semifinals of the 2017 European Championship and was joined by brother Bo in competing in the 2013 Sydney Darts Masters and 2014 World Championship. His brother plays darts, as you can tell, professionally. There was, when this first happened, there was something that went out that they thought it was Bo, his brother, that had passed away, and that got corrected really quickly, and that it was Kyle. So continuing on with this, Anderson had returned to Australia in 2020 at the start of the coronavirus pandemic and relinquished his PDC Tour card in January, officially giving it up in September, but January is when they technically are given back so someone else can get one. And the reason, and they don't mention this really here, the reason for that was, again, family stuff and what was going on in Australia, New Zealand, worldwide, just in that particular area. The lockdown was a little bit tighter. There was no travel. It was like a serious, like, you just stay home type of thing. And so he did, and he hung out with family. And if you go back through his social media, he was having a blast. It was some pretty cool stuff. And then he goes on to say, we send our condolences and best wishes to Kyle's family and friends at this terrible, sad time, particularly his wife and children. And that was from Barry Hearn. And then there's some other comments there from other players and people within the PDC. He competed in a total of 7 world championships, was a quarterfinalist once in 7 UK Open appearances, and also reached the quarterfinals and semifinals of the European Championship. He represented Australia 4 times in the World Cup, which is coming up soon, alongside Simon Whitlock, reaching the semifinals in 2018, which, yeah, they played well. Now that I think about that, that was good. So just that's what the PDC had to say. Again, young man, 33, who just really awesome young man. It's weird that I can say that. I can think there was a Derek Thomas, who was a Kansas City Chiefs player. The two of them would have been best friends. They just had the same personality. They loved people. They loved the community they were in, and they wanted to do stuff for the human race. He also passed away many years ago at 33. It was just a great human being himself. And I think of Kyle Anderson in regards to that. Like I just said, they just wanted to do stuff for the human race. And that's where Kyle Anderson was. If you were a darts player and you had a question you wanted, he was like one of the guys you could just walk up to and be like, what's up? I got a question about this, and he would just answer. He would play with you. He would do stuff. There's many videos out there and many comments out there of him just being that guy. No matter, what his status was within the PDC, he just loved the people of the sport. And he certainly loved the people around him in his community and his family. He really had a heart for them. And you could tell that his family brought him a ton of joy. If you go again back and look at stuff, he and I did communicate a little bit. Like, I sent him a coffee mug, and he thought that was the greatest thing ever. At least he made me feel that way. Because if you're on my show, I try and send you a coffee mug, because got to get the coffee mugs out. Um, and I sent him one, and like he was like, yeah, like he didn't think I was going to, and so I sent him the mug, and I looked at it yesterday. He's holding up, smiling. He's like, yeah, and so we started chatting a little bit, and we chatted over the last year, and I know that some of the stuff he was dealing with was kind of a bit of a struggle. I know that COVID it affected him, and I know with some people it tends to have some lingering stuff. Um, I'm going to leave it at that because I have my own personal feelings and opinions about a lot of these things, and I try not to share them here. If you ever want to have a conversation about it, I'll happily chat with you, but this is not the format for me to do that. But Kyle just really, the couple of times like we talked about darts, and I asked him, about coming back and what was going on, and he basically shared that he would play. He was certainly going to play, and that he may give it one more run. He and his wife were talking about it, with the family and stuff. And it's a lot because you're gone for a lot of the time, and you don't make a lot of money when you're first getting into this stuff. Just you don't. So you have to have a good support system. We talk about the Danny Laubys and the Danny Baggishes, the Matt Campbells. Jeff Smith is very smart and has he has a good business behind him outside of darts, and he's just been able to maintain, which is good. I mean, that's it's but some of these younger guys don't have the backing, and like he and I talked about that a little bit. Just that whole aspect, that was an issue. Like if you're not winning and you're not getting that money, if you don't have a solid backing, it's a struggle, for your family, especially when you have young kids and things like that. So I bring that up just to say, hey, there are some guys out there that are representing our countries that we look at and go, yeah, cool. Like I've played Matt Campbell. I lost to Matt Campbell. I played pretty good though. I was actually kind of surprised in regards to that particular moment. So I hold on to that. These guys are out there doing it, and they've got families, and so I just bring that up. That was actually a thing that Kyle was concerned about. Was that situation. And that was a situation and the thing that he and his family were discussing, like how to go forward, because the struggle, he had reached a point where the struggle was much less for sure. And for the most part, not much of a struggle, but giving up his tour card and having to go back and get it and start over. Barney, he's dealing with some of those struggles. Not as much the financial struggles. Hopefully he's been smart enough with 5 world championships and so forth to be able to procure some cash. But just letting you guys know, Mr. Hamilton, it's good to see you as well. I would love to get back to playing in person. I know there's some stuff going on that you have going on, and I need to figure out how to get down there and play. So enjoy work today, sir. Speaking of which, I need to bail off out of here soon because I got some work stuff to do and got to help get some stuff done for the wifey this morning because kids are going to school tomorrow. And so we're trying a practice run this morning because my kids are young. That goes back to Kyle though, real quick. And I'm going to end on this. Again, just an incredible man, an incredible father, an incredible darts player. He will be missed for sure. By those in the darts community. And if you are new to darts and don't know who he is, haven't seen him play, seen the joy in his face when he wins, when he does well, go back to YouTube. That stuff's all out there. It's available to watch. The Auckland Masters, great matches and tournament. That's all there for you to watch. So I highly recommend it. Go check that out. Go do that. And at this point in time, again, the family's asked to just be able to kind of figure this out. It just happened. So I would say give it a little bit of time. You'll see some stuff come from Shot. You'll see some stuff out there that kind of says, hey, it might be a little bit better time to reach out to them. I did ask Shot if they're going to be putting together something in regards to helping raise some money for the family for any expenses, and they said they would let me know in regards to that. I will let everybody know. I will certainly reach out to everybody and say, hey, here's where we can donate in regards to helping the family. Do I have a mad face? Sharon, why are you angry with me? Sharon Butler said she's angry with me. That's sad. Sharon, please let me know if you're on here. DM me and let me know if there's why the sad or why the mad face. But again, I'll let everybody know if there's something, there's a way that we can help the family out. At this point, they've kind of asked to just not a whole lot until they kind of figure it out. And if something comes up, I will certainly let the darts community that follow me know, and hopefully it'll spread in a way where we can help the family. So again, sad news yesterday coming out in regards to that. He will be missed. I liked chatting with him the little bit that I did, and he just was a good guy. We had talked about him being back on the show at some point. He said he needed some time because he was dealing with some stuff, and so I'll never forget telling Kyle nice beard on the live stream. Yes, he had a little, yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave this here. Please, go check out anything you can in regards to Kyle. Just such a good guy, really was. And Scottish Lad says here that he did a review of the B52, which is a barrel that I designed with shot. And he's got a review of that coming out tomorrow. So thank you, Scottish Lad, for that. And Bob Hamilton says best jersey by Kyle Anderson was his Australian Apparition Art, just the coolest looking on the tour. Yeah, he had really nice looking jerseys. Again, just a good guy. So everybody, I've enjoyed being back. This actually is a lot of fun and feels really good to get in front of the camera and talk with everybody. So I appreciate everybody for being here and hanging out with me. Again, prayers for Kyle Anderson's family, prayers for those around him and that are dealing with this, and for his little ones and his wife. So we certainly do reach out with heavy hearts to them today. And again, just ask that there not be too much. They've just asked that there's not a whole lot. They know the darts community. We're a family and we love each other. And so this is very sad. And again, if there's some way that we can help them and I find out about it, I will let you guys know. So thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy the darts. Lots of cool stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. We didn't get too much into it, but next Tuesday, I'll be back and we'll talk more about stuff coming up in the PDC. And there are some other potential events with Champ Darts that are coming up. It all just depends on what happens with this COVID stuff. And I'll be talking to you guys then. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.